It's entertaining, I would think. Especially, I think that the gamble here, or the risk, is entertaining because it's so bad, the behavior. And of course, there's always especially in America, the fascination with the rise and the fall, the rise of the gangster, the fall, the gangster tradition. There's so many examples in history and theater and novels and poetry and movies. I mean, in this case, there's a rise and a fall, but maybe even a rise again. Say, possibly, more than maybe. If not a character like Jordan, there are many others. I think it's always a good time to tell this story. And as I said before, I think that there's a general belief that the market will implode again, and then again and again. Maybe there will come a time in the future when people look at stories like this and wonder, what they were really all about. But we've spun completely the other way. I don't think we'll ever be even that close to that sort of thing. It's always interesting. It's always fascinating about the betrayal of trust in a story between people, characters, let alone betrayal of trust between strangers, let alone people who are very close to each other, of course, whether through marriage or family. And so there's that element that's always been in my movies that deals with these characters that break that trust. And right here, the fundamental, going in, they're pretending there's trust. Going in, they've broken it already, even before picking up that phone or making that, dealing with that client, so to speak. Leo, again, I think this is our 5th time working together. I've been very lucky over the past 12 or 14 years or so to be able to check in with Leo and be, really to be attracted to the same characters, similar characters, similar stories. And again, there's a matter of trust in that relationship, the professional relationship and personal, and the ability to take more risks and to push as an actor and hopefully to push as a filmmaker. And so, yes, he's 30 years younger than me, but it's still, I must say that there's still, I still find the inspiration. I still find that there's ways, if he's really interested in something, it usually is stuff that I would be interested in, and vice versa to a certain extent, which is, in the past 10, 12 years has given me a kind of a whole reboot, so to speak, of energy to make films. Working with Matthew McConaughey the first time was really interesting. I saw him in this film Mud, the Jeff Nichols picture, and I really liked him. I didn't recognize him, actually. And took me halfway through the film to understand that that's who that was. And it just seemed to be part of the very nature of the place that the film was depicting and the world that it was depicting. It seemed so natural. And so when we talked about doing this part, we only met for a few minutes, and he said, "What about my accent?" I said, "No, why couldn't there be a Southern accent on Wall Street?"